recording button pressed, starting that. There we go. Wrong one, that's Pyrite Building. I wanted Pyrite Town. Oh well. Either way, that works.
Alright, let's get started with a G1 remodel of Blast.
Yeah, it's the Kingdom Legacy mold, but in Studio Series with, I think, no clear parts.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. It's apparently Target exclusive for some reason. Actually, that makes sense. That's what the buzzworthy Bumblebee ones that were like this were doing. So what?
Yeah,
is
but
Target
why?
is the buzzworthy Bumblebee figures that had been without clear plastic had been all Target exclusives as part of Studio Series. So are they just gonna slowly go through all of the molds and make all the characters have no clear plastic for Generation 1?
Apparently so.
Huh.
I mean, it's not like we're like picking up Lego minifigures. Like we know what's inside of it.
Yeah.
So there's really no point in like with like cardboard like packaging instead of a clear plastic package. Sorry, I had a chip stuck in me. Oh.
Ah. Yeah, I'm saying that stuff like how on the Kingdom mold you can see through the torso with like a clear bit of it.
Oh. All that too.
Yeah. So we have him. I did not name eject in a way as a file in a way where he comes immediately after Blaster. I didn't do that with a couple of things again.
Okay.
But yeah, so he does still come with eject. We'll get to look at him later.
Okay.
This is part of the Target Optimus Prime that they're gonna do. We have Ravage turned into the Target mascot.
Bug with the target on its eye.
Yeah. They also attempt. Apparently, it's supposed to turn into like one of those mailing packages and such.
Well, that looks like a terrible mailing package then.
Yeah.
It has an hourglass figure. It's like, you fit anything square into it.
Yeah, I would have. So it was marketed, from what I had seen in the leaks, as this being a Target Master. So what would have made more sense to me was they had ended up making for Rise of the Beasts a Target Master. Give me a second to make sure I have the right animal. But they had made a version. They had made a new character of using the pre-existing name Chainclaw. And had ended up making a where is it? Where is it? There it is. They had made a wolf that can become a chainsaw, and I feel like if you just took a little bit of if you took a little bit of time to make it look a little more Generation 1, that would have worked just fine. Yeah.
Yeah, and how did it turn out like this?
How did it turn out to being this? Apparently, this was the actual plan to begin with. I'm noting that the Rise of the Beast wolf one would have made more sense to actually do in the case of if it's apparently supposed to be a battle master.
I mean, yes.
Because honestly, what even is the point of turning it into like a package mailer? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, in the show, Soundwave used some of his cassette cons to download and upload information from the Autobot base.
True. However, the thing is, for this to be useful, you need to write down that information in theory on paper, and then have someone deliver it.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I mean, in theory, they could just remember it, but then what's the point of not just being something digital?
Exactly.
Yeah, so don't know what was up with that decision. Then we have Cannonball.
Hmm.
He's
I think
a pirate.
Oh, is that why he has like that little hook thing? Yeah.
Probably.
Is-
That's probably why he has the little tiny hand.
It's like one of those claws from those claw games.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently his name is technically a reference to the Princess Bride. Because in the Princess Bride, you have Dread Pirate Roberts, where the name gets passed along from captain to captain. Same thing applies with Cannonball, apparently.
How would anyone even narrow it down to the Princess Bride?
I'm not certain. I just know that it is narrowed down to a reference of that, likely because it's specifically a pirate that is a captain that has his name get passed on from captain to captain.
To a successor, you mean?
Basically. But I don't actually know. But yeah, basically, that's my best guess as to how they ended up narrowing it down to that, instead of just something else where the name gets passed along to a successor. Yeah. They actually used the Skids mold for this and remolded it rather heavily, actually.
I'll say.
Yeah. I think he's originally from Cybertron or something, Transformers Cybertron's toy line or something that.
Yeah, he definitely does have that Cybertron look. Well, I mean, Transformers Cybertron look.
Yeah. Yeah, I just pulled it up. He is from, I think, the toy line of Cybertron.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, even though I don't know anything about Cybertron, I might grab him just because I find the idea funny of just making him into quite literally a take on on Wesley from The Princess Bride.
Well, what you could do is like create that scene with like Sean Wallace and what was the guy's name again?
I think the character's name is Wesley. I think he's actually played by the guy that played Lawrence Gordon in Saw.
Oh yes, right.
But yeah. Then who would be the person that thinks themselves so smart?
Wouldn't it be Starscream?
That would make sense, actually.
Well, I mean, he's always full of himself, thinking that's like he's destined to become a leader of Decepticons, and he always thinks like he's smarter than everyone else. When in theory, when in truth, that he's really dumber than a box of rocks.
That's true. Well, somewhat. Depending on the version of Starscream, he isn't necessarily dumb as a bag of rocks. I know that at least in Transformers Prime, admittedly this is a side tangent, but in Transformers Prime, it's implied that under Starscream's lead, the Decepticons were succeeding in wiping everyone out, and then Megatron returned. At which point the events of the show happened, and then they started losing again and again and again for the most part. So it is interesting to consider that. Of that he may not. I don't necessarily think that he's always completely stupid, but he's definitely full of himself enough to think that he would know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, another alternative would be like Shockwave. I think that's the only smart Decepticon I can think of.
Yeah, the issue with Shockwave is Shockwave typically doesn't get overconfident and isn't necessarily as full of himself most of the time. Is he?
No, guess not.
So Starscream would definitely make sense. Now, I would probably need to try and put together like a crew of pirates for this guy. I would need to figure out who is Inigo Montoya.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, that's probably the reasoning I will. That's probably why I will grab him rather than actually knowing anything about who he is. And the nice thing with technically the thing of Cannonball getting passed along to successors, I technically can just make him become Wesley. I don't technically have to follow any previous version of Cannonball.
Yeah, exactly.
Next up, we have some actual stock images of the Cheetor that is
Oh, good God.
this thing.
Like, is that what the figure actually looks like? It looks too cartoonish to actually be the real thing.
I think it's 3D rendered modeling of it in these images.
That makes.
So that's probably what's going on here. It's probably just a stock render instead of them doing, for some reason, instead of doing like proper product shot renders. But yeah. I still don't know why this was the design that they decided to do first of Beast Machines. Of all the things they could have done to try and put a good foot forward, this.
Either.
Do a Viacon, or if you want to do core class because you want to try to test the waters, do Rat Trap. Because that would actually make sense for his size.
Yeah. Yeah, like, size-wise, yeah, but, like, really I didn't have much care for Rat Trap's design, or any of the Beast Machines' design.
Yeah, Beast Machines was not very well designed. I don't even know if I will plan to actually grab each of their Beast Machine designs. I might just grab the Viacons and call it a day. Because
I mean, honestly, the Viacons,
What?
Honestly, the Viacons look slightly better red than the...
Yeah, the Viacons don't look horrendous, but I think that mainly comes down to that. The Viacons weren't trying to basically be... Take my normal explanation of Cybertronians, of basically giant metal humans, as literally.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they transform normally, whereas, like, the beasts, they, like, morph their limbs and body parts into themselves, and then they, like, create new ones.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I'll grab ever the beasts. I would probably get stuck in the case of, there are technically a couple of characters from that show if I want to actually complete character casts, but still, I think in terms of Beast Machines, it will depend on if they can actually make the beasts look decent. Because when you have a figure, you actually need to make it transform. You can't just shortcut it away like the CGI did.
No, like, that's not even physically possible.
Yeah, so they might look better if given, you know, actual budget. But it will likely depend for the beasts how well that looks. Yeah.
Although there was a time when, like, during the Age of Extinction movie, they had, like, those flip and change transformers.
Yeah.
But then they, like, into their robot form.
Yeah. Yeah, though, from what I'm aware of, for the most part, most gimmicks don't... the only gimmick that they usually deal with in the main lines at this point are stuff like Junkions and Weaponizers and such, where there's a group of guys that just split apart into potential armor and weapons.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need to worry about them trying to make flip and change for these guys. It'd be real accurate, but I don't think they're gonna do that, and I would hope they didn't do that. Then we have Chromia.
Is Chromia one of the female Transformers?
Yes.
Okay.
Supposedly this is supposed to represent, I think, her Cyberverse version. But at the same time, it is basically just animated Prowl with a new head. That is about as far as they apparently took it for her. Yeah, it's supposed to be Cyberverse Chromia. Give me a moment and I can send you this so you can see just how inaccurate all of this really is.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
Why? Why is this one's wheels on our shoulders, but the like handbrakes are on our shoulders? This
Because,
one.
quite literally, they just took animated Prowl, recolored it, and gave it a new head.
Well, that's bold.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
dumb.
Clearly not all figures end up getting best treatment.
No kidding.
Yeah, because I can show you. It's literally animated Prowl, new head, new colors.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely see some similarities. Yeah, and they even like copied the vehicle.
No, I mean quite literally. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same mold except for the head. I think they just changed out the head, and that's what. And they called it a day on Cyberverse Chromia.
Seems accurate.
Oh, this is part of an upcoming 4-pack that is going to be Target exclusive. We have a Generation 1 based version of Prime Cliff Jumper.
He looks like his horns and stuff.
Yeah.
And he turns into what is that car?
It's like muscle car.
Is that like? Oh, it's a muscle car. It's a muscle car with the bull horns.
Yeah. He is surprisingly, I think, one of the more accurate Prime figures I have seen so far. To be Generation 1 stylized. Which is kind of funny and weird. Because
I don't know. It kind of reminds me of what they did in like the Bumblebee movie. Like sort of like it kept the G1 style, but it still like held some Michael Bay-ish textures, you know.
Yeah. What is interesting to me about him is we have Skyquake and Dreadwing, which basically got screwed by virtue of they basically made him like half Generation 1 Skyquake, half Prime, if that. It seems more Generation 1 Skyquake to me. And then you have like Knockout, Breakdown, and Bulkhead, which end up looking like just flat Generation 1 versions of their characters.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you have this one that actually is like more of a middle ground and does a better job at it than what they tried to do for Prime RC.
Yeah, like for being like a G1 style Prime design, I really like it.
Yeah. Yeah. The funny thing is, technically, if we ever get around to finishing those bingo cards, I'm not counting this for that one yet, because I want to see a full proper Prime version, which was implied it might occur in Studio Series. So
okay.
I'm gonna hold off on that still, because I'm gonna hold that one too, wanting to see the actual version for Studio Series. Even though I do like this, and I will grab him to be part of Generation 1.
Okay.
You know, in addition to proper Generation 1 Cliff Jumper, I'm not kicking him to the curb. But could be funny if it's like if it's like, okay, you have normal Generation 1 Cliff Jumper, and then you have his bulky weightlifting cousin.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, Cliff Jumper, you're being replaced by your cousin. What up, guys? Want to bench press some pounds? Oh.
I'm pretty sure in his first appearance he was voiced by The Rock.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I do want to grab him because I do already like the prime design of Cliffjumper a decent bit, though then again I do like how muscle cars look, so that's probably part of it. Oh, there we go. There's eject. In actual not clear plastic this time around.
Looks like a rock'em sock'em guy.
Kinda does. Yeah. I'm gonna probably try and find this guy. I already grabbed Blaster, so I'm gonna try and find this guy so I can replace the clear one with Solid.
Yeah. His body looks like Rock'em Sock'em, but his head kind of looks like Gundam, don't you think?
Kind of. Then again, this also feels like a common design because it kind of feels like sound waves as well.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Let's see. Ah, yes, we have Farak, or however you pronounce his name.
How you spell that? Farak?
Ferak, F-E-R-A-K. It is completely made up word.
So wait, F-E-R-I-K?
A-K.
Oh, A-K.
Yeah, let's see.
Farak.
F-E-R-A-K, yeah.
I feel like I'm saying frack.
Okay,
like
Farak. Apparently.
Farak, okay.
Yeah, in a text interview 23 years after he had written the story, apparently the guy who created him was asked how he would pronounce the name, checked the spelling, and chose Farak. So, yeah.
Well, it's better than saying Farak.
Yeah, Farak here is also one of the pirates for Walmart's exclusive line this year.
Hmm.
I don't think he necessarily has any big story thing of his own. Notable story things of his own. He's kind of just a differently colored Cyclonus.
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, isn't he, like, part of Cyclonus's armada?
I don't necessarily think so.
So what, he's like a recolor of Cyclonus and they just branded him as, like, a new character?
I think so, effectively.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, from what
apparently how he originally looked wasn't necessarily Cyclonus, and then someone later ended up deciding they wanted to make a figure of him, and I guess had access to the Cyclonus mold, and so they decided to go with that. So he has now taken on the form of Cyclonus.
Yeah.
Then again, I think he was designed somewhat to just be a generic guy in the old comics. So how likely we would have gotten a brand new figure of him when no one would know who he is, I don't know. Yeah. We have Filch.
So what, they just used the Kingdom class air razors mold and they like made it blue with like a different head? Or is that the same head?
There's a bit of difference. I think the head is different. I think the beast head is different. The wings can now actually come off there to plug into the arms to be more accurate to the newer Robots in Disguise show. And I think there might be a couple other smaller things. But yeah. Yeah, effectively, they did turn her Kingdom Air Razor into a mainly blue and purple version. Let's see. Then we have Lockdown here, of which apparently this head was designed to look like the Revenge of the Fallen figure.
Well, like the Revenge... Like, which figure, though?
There had been a Revenge of the Fallen released figure for Lockdown. And so that's what they based the head off of. Which, interestingly, somewhat implies it's not supposed to be animated Lockdown.
Definitely not animated Lockdown.
Yeah. There you are. There's an image of that Revenge of the Fallen version of Lockdown from before they ended up having him show up in Age of Extinction. But yeah. He's made out of the axle grease mold, which fits him better, I would say, than axle grease, because he's not a Junkion, but he's still known to take parts from whoever he defeats as trophies to upgrade himself. So it still fits him.
Yeah.
Also, apparently these will be painted green. They just weren't on the prototype that they had for the marketing images. Or for the stock images. But there will be green stripes down the hood, so it's not going to be complete black. Yeah, initially I had felt like the face was... I was put off a bit by the head, but it has kind of grown on me.
It looks ridiculous, if you ask me.
Kind of, yeah. But it has kind of grown on me just because it was for some reason something that did already exist. So it isn't, and it ends up. But honestly, I feel like the biggest issue is just they made his chin so much longer than any other character, even the animated figures, for some reason. That's what I'm gonna say is the only thing that is really still messing with it a little, in my opinion, to keep it from making as much sense. Looks like he just has a mouth there and then a ginormous chin when he's not supposed to be from animated. We have Target Optimus Prime himself.
Looks like he's delivering a piece.
He kinda does look like he's delivering a pizza.
Excuse me, fellow human, but I have received this pizza from my employer and was tasked with delivering it to your approximate location, which is at your house.
Ah, yes. Here, human. Here is your pizza.
It's like one of those the school commercials that at McDonald's and Burger King used to do whenever they got like a sponsor, right? Like the characters in like Transformers would just I would like to order a burger, no cheese, no onions.
And then there he is with the trailer. I don't mind how this looks. This color layout feels very weird though to me.
Yeah, he kind of looks like a shattered glass Optimus Prime. That is at like certain parts active.
Yeah. I feel like part of what the issue is partly the legs end up, they insisted on being gray, and partly they ended up just, instead of letting these be probably like red to fit in with the rest of the torso, and that being red, they kind of just forced some extra black in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the main thing. It feels like there's a couple areas of too much black. I think I have seen people say, watch people buy this just to end up modifying it to make it into Generation 1 Optimus using the Generation 2 mold. Yeah. Then we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover. You have the standard head, where there's just nothing on, no bandana.
Yeah. People can see his identity. Cover your face, quick!
You have the Leonardo head and the belt, as well as swords.
Looks so much better than the other one.
Admittedly, the bandana with and head cap piece, they are separate pieces that slide on top of the head.
Wait, for real? So it's like a helmet.
Yes. Also, this apparently can come off to be placed elsewhere, I guess. And
but where,
this is
though?
underneath. Honestly, I feel like they should have made it Metalhead, because then this wouldn't look as weird. You could give him Metalhead's bandana, and then you could end up still using this this helmet-like gimmick to end up giving him the ability to focus on the fighting style of one of the other turtles.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, so you have that. You have Donatello, which admittedly seems to be a very short bow staff.
Oh, so it comes with like multiple.
It comes with all of the stuff.
Oh, okay.
I also am not certain how this belt changes.
Good question.
I know for certain it comes with all the weapons and it comes with all the helmet pieces, which is the issue with if you want to get all four of them to display together. You now have an extra, let's see, like an extra 12 helmet pieces just sitting around. So you can see why I'm kind of like, I would have almost preferred if this was Metalhead and it was more like he is focusing on one of the other turtles' fighting styles.
Yeah.
Mikey.
Your favorite?
Interestingly, they actually let these have like plastic chains instead of being...
Also, it actually like moves around, so it's not like a solid piece.
Yeah,
That's actually nice.
it is. It's especially considering even I think a lot of the turtles' own stuff will usually make that a solid piece.
Yeah.
Then we have Raph. And then we have the party wagon.
Honestly, yeah, with it being in its vehicle mode, I'd like make the so small. Like, I don't know why, but it does. It like has that like sort of feeling.
Yeah. It would probably look better if we could actually get an image comparing it with other with other figures in scale. Yeah. Because admittedly it's kind of off in a void. So we can't really get a sense of scale, can we?
No, and what if people start ordering these things, and one of them like shows up like a centimeter tall. It's like I spent like $200 fucking dollars on this piece of shit, and it's only this small.
If I recall correctly, I can look up quickly how much they are. So we can So we can solve for how much it would be if you dare wants to have all 4 turtles. Let's go find out, shall we? It is $50, so yeah. If you want all 4 of them, you need to give them $200. Yeah.
So I guess my exaggeration wasn't too far off.
It definitely wasn't if you want all 4 of them to be able to be displayed separately. Now, the only nice thing about it is that technically it's called Party Wallop and not any of the turtles specifically. So you could just pretend it is just a 5th turtle that then imitates the others. But I don't like that as much as it just being Metalhead.
Yeah.
Because Metalhead would have just worked. He's already a robot. He already has the same shape as the turtles. That would make lots more sense.
Well, let's not also forget that Metalhead is a bit harder name for turtles.
Yeah. Then we have Prototype Colors Tarantulas. Except not transparent.
Is this like based off of the original, like the original figure?
Off of its original prototype colors, yeah. It's part of the 4-pack with Cliff Jumper. Apparently, supposedly, this was originally going to get an individual release.
Interesting.
With the name Chimericon.
Chimericon.
Yeah. However, when it became part of the 4-pack, it just became known as tarantulas again.
Boy, like Chimericon, like as in like a creature that's like a fusion between the other animals.
I think I had looked it up, and he might have, and I think he had put together like some group that was called Chimericons at some point.
Oh, okay, that would make more sense.
Yeah, so they were using that to base off of, but it is still kind of weird that they just reverted back to calling him tarantulas.
Yeah. I mean, it would be better to call him that than like Chimera, right? Like even if it's like the name of the group.
I mean, on one hand, yes. On the other hand, that ends up, unless people know about that he was going to be referred to as Chimericon, then that means if someone there wants to have him be part of their collection as someone other than tarantulas, now they have to come up with a name.
Yeah, I guess.
So, kind of both. It is kind of better and it is kind of not, because now it also sheds more light onto it is indeed tarantula, something that tarantulas was supposed to look like at one point, but it also makes it less appealing to put in a collection of individual Beast Wars guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have Shard.
What is he, like a swamp monster?
No, Shard.
Oh, he's a geode. Like he's covered in crystals.
Yes, Shard. She is apparently made of death crystals, specifically. Which comes from one of the episodes of G1.
Which one was that?
It was one of the later episodes, and it showed up like briefly, to the point of it's impressive that they even came up with the idea of referencing that.
It's impressive that they actually remembered that.
Yeah, let's see.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah. Death crystals. They come from an episode called Chaos, which is apparently the 7th episode of the 3rd season.
Oh. I like vaguely remember that.
Yeah. I think the main time you see it when you don't see the monster that they are shed from. The only other time you see the crystals, I think, is a character called Runamuck shooting them out of a cannon to blow stuff up with. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. So basically, from what I'm hearing, because I had kind of forgotten what those were as well, what I'm hearing is basically either, especially since it seems like Shard usually uses melee weapons, you either end up blowing her up, or she will end up blowing you up if she's already too close.
Oh.
I highly think they weren't thinking about the fact that it seems like the crystals are volatile and likely to explode when they designed her. I think they just were like, you know what would be neat to end up saying that a character is made out of? Death crystals.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Let's not look up anything else.
But it is still an interesting thing as an enemy that you can that if you destroy will likely destroy you if they're too close.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at first glance, she honestly looks like she's like the swamp. Especially with like the color design too. You got like a light green and aquamarine, then like a dark green.
Yeah. Oh yeah, these sword things that make up the helicopter blades. Apparently, art shows that that it's kind of implied that the way she normally uses those is she normally uses 2 in each hand to basically wield them like claws.
That makes it like a terrible claw though. What?
Yeah, that's why I say it likely wasn't thought through of that death crystals seemingly are volatile and likely to explode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They clearly did not do the research.
Yeah. What I would probably do with that then in a story would be something like, probably do something like she can explode, but it ends up heavily weakening her. And since she is living death crystals, has more control over how volatile they are at a given moment.
Yeah.
I might go with that to explain it, which might be what they were thinking, but never explained.
Yeah, let's just go with that.
Yeah. Bumblebee movie Shockwave.
Oh.
It's cannon so big, and you get to the barrel.
Yeah,
it's tiny.
It's like the rest of the gun is huge, but the barrels are so small.
It looks even funnier in tank mode.
Is that even supposed to be a tank?
I think it's supposed to be a futuristic H-tank.
He looks like he's laying down.
Kinda does.
Like with his, legs just bending like all the way backward.
Yeah,
it's like laying down.
Yeah, he kind of looks like he's just laying down and split his torso in half to achieve this.
like performing some extreme yoga there.
Yeah. Yes, I shall perform an experiment. I shall do extreme yoga into a tank formation.
First, I shall bend my legs backwards, then I'll break my spine in half, and then flip it over my crotch.
Yeah. Yes. What is listed on the 4-pack as Squeeze Play, but is also known as Cancer.
Squeeze Play or Cancer.
Those are technically your 2 naming options for this guy. Squeeze Play is the original, Squeeze Play is the name that the figure got when released by Hasbro originally. And Cancer was the name of him in the show that Japan did that included him.
But why call him Cancer?
No clue. It's seemingly his actual name as well, and not a nickname.
Like they're starting to run out
of a kid that turns into a headmaster.
Wait, he's a pig?
He's a kid.
Oh, kid. I thought
Yeah, like
you
a
said
13-year-old
pig.
kid. Whose name is apparently Cancer.
Oh, that's just messed up, dude.
And his friend is Browning, this pistol here.
Cancer Browning. Oh god, that sounds so messed up, dude.
Well, Browning gets his name from that he used one of Takara's other gun molds, which was of a Browning pistol.
Oh.
So that's where Browning got his name from. And Browning is a Cybertronian, he's just tiny. Technically, if you want actual scale Browning, he is actual human-sized pistol.
Oh.
That's how tiny he is, in terms of a Cybertronian.
So he's basically like the same size as Rumble.
Yeah. Actually, no, Rumble's about the size of an adult man, if not a little bigger.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So no, he is small enough that he can fit in this 13-year-old kid's hands in robot mode. But I think I had seen that, like, the live streamer, they revealed him. They did note that they kind of were basing him off of Cancer. I don't know why they called him Squeeze Play, though.
Either. Like, what does he even transform?
He turns
transforms
into this crustacean-like thing.
No, he's not. He's like a viper, dude. Or a cobra. Look at his head.
True. I think with the original mold, I think it came down over his back more, but this kind of goes off of the show a bit more. And the wiki describes it as supposed to be crustacean-like.
I mean, I can see like some crustacean. Like
I don't think he's supposed to be based off any real crustacean. I think he's supposed to be based off of like an alien crustacean.
Okay, that would make more sense if it was alien.
Yeah, because I don't know that he's supposed to turn into anything actually, existing. Because even his original alt mode, even his original figure doesn't necessarily look a ton like any given real crustacean that I can think of.
If one does exist, I've never seen one before like this.
Yeah, so apparently his original figure transforms into a bipedal crab monster. So it is indeed partly a made-up creature.
Okay.
So,
Bipedal. Yeah. Like meaning that it's a crab that walks on two legs.
Somewhat, yeah. With like a made-up head that ended up, due to how this got made, and I think somewhat the show design, looks more like a viper's head.
It's kind of giving me like some SCP vibes, because like, isn't there like an SCP that's like basically like a crab like I think they like refer to it as like a head crab.
I don't know. If so, I don't know that I've encountered that one.
Okay. Shall we move on?
Yeah. We have Core Class Bumblebee Starscream.
I don't know what to say about it.
And here is the alt mode.
What the hell? Like his legs and arms are showing. The hell is this?
I mean, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be an adaptation of the Cybertronian Tetrajet, but this just does not look good.
This is like another deadly yoga move right here.
I guess he ended up learning yoga from Shockwave.
Okay. Now, what you need to do is bend your legs up to your torso until your big toe reaches behind your head.
Yeah. And you need to have your arms on full display above the wings, unlike how most figures have the arms underneath the wings.
Yeah, exactly. It looks so terrible.
Uh-oh.
Hmm?
Uh-oh, I think my computer got angry that I ended up trying to dare open... I tried to dare open a tab to end up finding you an image to compare of, Okay, there we go.
Are you kind of cut off there?
Yeah, I think my computer just played catch-up on loading a tab.
Oh.
And it ended up freezing everything for a second. It was like, no, how dare you multitask? You're doing something right now. How dare are you multitasking? You shouldn't be doing this. How dare you? Yeah, anyway, this is what I was going to go find for you. What it's supposed to look like.
Oh, hold on.
That's what it's supposed to look like. At least that looks like it is a Tetrajet with a giant gun hanging out from underneath.
Yeah, I was about to say, like if he starts flying, that, like, he would need to, like, fly higher than the mountains, otherwise he's gonna get his gun clipped.
Yeah, but that at least looks like it will actually fly and like it's a Tetrajet. This looks like it's just someone squishing a PNG of the Tetrajet.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we have Cybertron Starscream.
Why does he have like a pure purple gun in his hand?
I'm not certain. I think it might be supposed to be an energon weapon or something like that.
Like what Optimus and Megatron had in the first episode?
I think so, yeah. I think that's kind of what they're going for there.
Yeah, like they had an axe and a ball and chain.
Yeah. And then his version of a Tetrajet, I assume. Because it looks to vaguely be triangular.
Yeah, but what's going on the left side in this image? It's like the right side is all closed up, but the left side, it's like something is missing.
Yeah, I don't know. Could be that this is... It could just be that it's not a good... That partly from the side it is not necessarily the best... that this, like, almost 3/4 view might not be the best angle to view this from the side here.
No, it's like hurting my brain almost, like trying to it. Like,
yeah, because it also shows just how empty and hollow this is.
Yeah,
that
like
you can see right through there.
It's like all the things are like, all the objects are like. It's like I can hardly tell if it's like above or below. So horrible.
Yeah.
Like not the figure, but like the image.
Yeah, they should have done a different angle for this one.
Yeah.
Studio Series Concept Sunstreaker. For when he was I think designed with the intent of him showing up at the beginning of that film.
Oh.
But Cybertronian vehicle mode.
And he comes equipped with feet.
Apparently.
Look at his feet.
Yeah, apparently.
He's like
he's getting ready for some soccer. Or football. Which would be weird in either case, because isn't Sunstreaker a whiner about how dare his paint get scratched?
Yeah.
So why does he have cleats?
Seems counterintuitive if you ask me, Sunstreaker.
Yeah. Also, it bugs me a little how this is clearly supposed to be these are clearly supposed to be wheels, yet they're molded right in, as though they're built right into as though they're just wheel wells or something.
Yeah, like they're welded into the car.
Yeah.
Like, it honestly doesn't even look like it would drive it.
Yeah.
And even
I
if
don't know if what they're going for is like a hover car or something, but...
Well, if it's a hover car, why even bother adding the wheels?
Aesthetics.
It's like... It's Futurama, it's like, wow, you got them new wheels? Yeah, they're completely clean, I hardly ever use them.
We have Swoop.
Did his head always look like that? Or is that... Or they, like, change the head? I don't know, it's
I
been
think
a
it
while.
might just be that his mouth is a little weird.
Yeah, that's probably it.
I think it's mainly that big thing. I have seen someone say that he might be a little wider than he should be as well. But I think with the head, it's mainly the mouth that is throwing it off so much.
Yeah.
Then we have the pterodactyl mode, which this actually if I recall correctly, this ends up being not too far off how he actually does look.
Yeah, like it's a good design.
Yeah, it's a little bulky in the center, but then again, I would assume like the original toy in the cartoon were also a little bulkier there.
Yeah, they all were.
Yeah,
or at least was mainly.
Yeah, so I'm not entirely certain why some people, I think, are like, how dare he be this bulky? That doesn't make sense. It makes sense. It makes sense to be a little like, now why is he quite this bulky? But no, he's supposed to still be bulky. Then we have Cyberverse Tarn, who alongside that Cliffjumper, Tarantulas, and Squeeze Play or Cancer is part of the 4-pack.
Interesting.
And he mainly looks like Tarn with just some extra dark red.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I don't know much about Cyberverse, but something I did see is in Cyberverse, he actually has a crack on his mask and torso, and he's missing his left arm.
Oh, he's missing his left arm?
Yeah.
Oh.
To help visually distinguish himself from that, in that show, since, they can't have him be the murder-happy leader of the Decepticon Gestapo, they ended up making him be one of the one of the super soldier Decepticons of an alternate universe.
I mean, that would make sense.
So he's basically so to distinguish himself from all the other identical super soldier Decepticons, they had given him a crack on his mask, torso, and missing his left arm.
Yeah, it's kind of like my OC Blade, with how he has like a crack for his over his eye.
Kind of. Yeah. This is probably the only figure I don't have as much interest in of that 4-pack. Then again,
Really?
Yeah. Then again, since he looks more like the generics because he doesn't have his distinguishing characteristics, he could just be like a generic super soldier Decepticon, just in the background.
Yeah.
We need someone to fight Grimlock. Who do we send? Send the super soldier. He's smart enough and dumb enough to try. Yeah. Yeah, and then you have actual Tarn who would be disgusted by it. That'd be funny. Because almost any Decepticon is not gonna dare try and take on any of the Dinobots. Even Megatron's afraid of them.
Of course. That's why he tried to recruit him one time.
Yeah.
He was so scared.
Yeah, so it makes sense that a generic super soldier would be who they send at them, even if they don't know that, even if he's not necessarily gonna put up a decent fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would mark the end of the reveals to cover.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
I thought there were more.
Yeah, at the moment, that is it.
Oh, okay.
So, I guess we now need to go into what is our favorite and which is least favorite of looking forward to.
Well, my least favorite has to be that Starscream, like that small-ass Starscream. Yeah, that one. Like, it looks so terrible, with, like, his arms and legs are exposed top. Like,
Yeah.
like if they put it all at the bottom, it would have been better, right?
Yeah, I would have to agree with that, because I think last time we had given it to the Cheetor, that would be unfair to just do it twice in a row to that Cheetor instead of coming up with a new thing.
Yeah.
So for favorite of these, I am going to likely have to choose between, let's see, I'm going to have to make a decision between the Cliff Jumper and Swoop mainly.
I have to give my favorite to Cliff Jumper here. Like, it looks so cool. I love that he, like, transforms into a muscle car.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've got... So it sounds like their best decision of this grouping was making this Cliff Jumper. Their worst decision, aside from Cheetor, was that Starscream.
Agreed.
Honestly, guys, what is this?
honestly,
it looks like you gave up like halfway through designing it, and we're like, it's gonna be a core class. It'll be fine. They'll forgive it.
it's good enough. It's ready for packaging.
Yeah, quite literally. If you just made it so that the arms were under the wings, it would have been fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about the worst offender there. Because at least then it ends up being mostly hidden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else you have on your mind?
Not really.
Oh, they did. We do know. So we did get told somewhat what upcoming things are coming for Wave 3.
Not really.
We have a character from the original Robots in Disguise show called Sideburn.
Okay.
We have Cybertron Hotshot. We have one of the Rock characters called Nucleus. We have Vector Prime from, I think, Cyberverse. Not Cyberverse, that's Cybertron. Yeah, Cybertron. And then, most likely, we have Armada Galvatron, who they didn't explicitly state was coming in the next wave, but also at the same time he shows up on the back of Tidal Wave's box. Because for some reason they didn't use the Megatron one that they had done. They used the Galvatron colored one for the images on the back. Don't know why they did that, but sure, I guess. But yeah, so I think that's all that we have to cover right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Then, yeah. See you next time.